think we are ready. Welcome back to our concept art development streams. Last time we left off, we were working on the physical construction of the ice cream shop. We worked in Blender to make a 3D model of what I wanted it to be laid out as. And now we are going to be drawing over top of that to build our illustration. I'm pretty sure this is the last thing we're going to be doing with the ice cream shop for a little bit. And depending on how long this drawing takes me, we might be able to finish it this stream, or it might be next stream that we finish it off. But for the moment, this is what we are going to be working on. And currently we don't have any viewers. That's okay. I'm sure people will come in as they're ready. And at the moment, I think we'll just get started. I think what I want to do... yes, I had a drawing underneath. Let me turn down the music a bit slightly. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do first is sketch in the character positioning. And for my own reference, I'm gonna pull up the other file that shows the character designs. That is not where I want that be sitting. There we go. Okay. I want this for my reference. I think I want all three of the characters to be in the picture. I think I want a soda tap. I need something darker here. Gotta be careful with how much I lower the opacity. If I lower it too much, I can't see my own image. So it's gonna be rough at the moment. We'll get this more straightened out as we go along, but I want the soda pumps to be here. We can have little character, the little girl right here, filling up the soda. I want this frothing everywhere. And she's gonna be on a stool. I'm thinking there should be cash register here. Teenager, kind of also looking maybe here and handing out some change. The old man in the back over here scooping some ice cream. And we can have a tiny child here. Taking out their ice cream. I think we need some people sitting in the booths. I think we should have another child here watching the ice cream froth. Very excited about it. I think they should be kneeling like a gremlin. No sitting in the chair normally for this man. Just for fun, I think I'll add Lena in here. Have her also be leaning away. A lot of people focused on this one event with the soda, which I think will be very silly. I have the sign back here. Do we need anything else? Make sure there's a stool under here. I think that's good for the base composition. Yeah. Oh, hello! Welcome back! We are currently doing some composition work for the interior of the ice cream shop. I did a little bit of playing around with the camera tool in my off time, so I got the perspective I wanted for the illustration, and now we're doodling on top to get a good composition going. I think the main I either want the teenager to be tired of this, or I think too many people are reacting with surprise, so I think I need the teenager to be like, dang it. I gotta clean that up later. I'll iron out her expression, but it'll be very silly. Maybe just a like interrupted her sentence kind of situation, handing over the money at the cash register. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be very silly, I can already tell. I could. Uh, who, who would I incorporate into the mafia though? Because they're a little bit of a, I don't know, they're animals, so I don't know how well they would fit into this. Something to consider later. I don't know, maybe I can include them as a stuffed animal for the child who's like eagerly watching the soda being filled and overfilled. High shelf, Mr. Falcon. Perhaps. I'll consider it. I do need some background decorations. I have pulled up my When It Rains folder. So we'll get some ideas of how to decorate the background. Yeah, this is going to be a good time. We'll see if I think we'll try and figure out the environment first now that I have the general layout of the characters. True, true, true. Well, in the meantime, let's figure out where all of this stuff is gonna go. We can make this shop feel full. So, now that we have our characters online, let's figure out background. Alright. What? There we go. Just trying to think of what kind of ice cream case that we had over here. That might be an issue. Let's scooch that over there so I can see. Hello! Welcome back to the stream. We are currently working on the interior illustration for the blender model that we made last week. I'm just currently trying to situate my reference images so I can draw the background. How's everyone's day been? I hope it's been good. My day's been pretty interesting. I had an early start. Woke up at 6:20. Actually, no, that's a lie. I woke up at 5:20 this morning. I was supposed to wake up at 6:20, but very Very rude. I woke up earlier than I wanted to and I couldn't fall back to sleep. So I woke up at 6:20 and I had to go over to, well, I say had to. I wanted to. I went over to a high school today to meet with my old art teacher, and I, I gave the children advice. Well, maybe not a whole bunch of advice, but I did show them my work, and they seemed to like it. They seemed well engaged, which was nice. It's always nice when the children appreciate your work. I brought like, it was so silly because I'm not very tall and I just graduated from college, so I don't look very old either. And I was bringing a lot of my books with me. And because I was bringing a lot of books, I needed something to carry them. And so I just brought my backpack. You can see where this starts being silly. I guarantee that if I had wanted to, not that I was going to, but if I had wanted to, I totally could have I totally could have just like walked into the side of the building without even checking in and just went over to the classroom. No one would have stopped me. No one. It's a scary power to have. Probably one I shouldn't have, but we're not gonna sneak into high schools. That seems like the wrong thing to do. But you know, I could have. Yeah, so anyway, I had a giant backpack because I brought a bunch of stuff. No one gave me a second glance when I walked around. It was nice to walk around in the high school though, because they've been doing a lot of construction on it. So it's the first time I've actually been in the new building. So it's nice to see, like, visually what they've been up to. Day seems to be doing pretty good. Well, you enjoy your poker game. I It's very important to do things with your friends. I do weekly D&D nights with my friends. They're getting so close to escaping the mines. Just a little bit longer, and then they'll get trapped in the next thing I set out for them. Yes. Good. Good. Excellent. I'm glad. It seems like most everyone's semesters are winding down at least a little bit for college kids being able to leave, or for high school kids just 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 a little bit longer, and hopefully your school isn't still as silly as mine was, in the sense that they decided, you know what would be a great way to give them a break? Don't end the semester during like before winter break. End it afterwards. Because that way they'll have plenty of time to study during winter break. I hated that. I am so glad college doesn't do that, because that just messes with your flow. You go home and you have like 2 weeks off maybe. And in those 2 weeks, you have homework because, God forbid, you get any semblance of a break. No. No, absolutely not. Why would you get a break when you could have homework? Because the moment you get a break, that knowledge is gonna drip out of your head and you're gonna just forget everything. At least I think that's the logic to it. I can't think of any other reason why they would not let you have just don't don't give them homework. Please, the children are overworked. Yeah, I'm glad you also thought it weird. My high school was weird for that one. I don't know why they thought that it was a good idea to end the semester in January. The children don't deserve that. Imagine having a break, coming back, and then having finals. That's not a break. Mm. Ooh, nice. Your high school has also been doing extensions. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it extensions though. That what the high school that I went to is doing. They essentially just tore down like 60% of all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're talking about high school because I just recently visited my old high school. Yeah, they tore down like 60% of the old school. The only thing left is the performing arts areas and a little bit of the gym areas. Everything else, like they got a whole new academic building. It, yeah, it's a lot. I would be sad that I don't get to experience it, but it essentially looks like a college building, so I don't think I'm missing all that much. 'Cause I already went to college, and I already got to experience a college building, so I don't need to experience a college building in high school. We don't need to go back to high school. That seems like a not a fun place to go. I was gonna do the counters. Yeah, they're eventually gonna be redoing the entire school because that thing. When was that built? I think that building was it was an old school. I think it was from the 1960s. I think they're saving that for phase two. Like they're gonna be saving that for next summer. It's a little awkward to do construction during the winter and when students are around, but mostly when in the winter. But one of like they had to board up sections of the school because winter, they didn't want cold air getting in or children escaping or something. I don't know. Leaving holes in buildings seems to allow for people to do strange things. And so they just left like just unpainted drywall on one of the hallways that led to the performing arts side. Evidently, that was making people sad, so one of the art teachers spent their own money on like tubs of paint so they could paint the wall to make it, interesting to look at and not sad. And I think that was very nice of them, but also I feel like I don't know, could have been sponsored a bit to do that rather than make teachers spend their own money on it livening up their environment. The child that yearned for fine art, some kid seeing your work. I mean, that was me. I yearn for the arts. I still yearn for the arts. Aren't we all just yearning for the arts in some way? Probably. Maybe. Are these counters gonna look? I too yearn for the arts. See, I want to make the counters look somewhat fancy, but I think most of the fanciness is going to come from painting. Because any other fanciness that could be done with line art, I think most of that's going to be covered. Oh well, I guess I'll just continue sketching on. I love when I forget that I'm selected on something else, try and zoom in on the art, and then the art does not zoom, the website zooms. Just this past summer, I got into drawing a bit. I wish I was better at shading and background, but I am happy to improve somewhat. Good, good. Always be happy with the progress you make. Sometimes you have to be happy with the steps that you make, because if you're always looking at it from a negative point of view, you will have a hard time seeing the progress you've made, and that can be demoralizing. Don't demoralize yourself. There's plenty of other people in the world to do that for you. You don't need to add yourself to the list. I think there's like a little flower in this. I don't need to copy it exactly, but it is nice to have a reference and not make up everything myself. Line 4. Do not know. I guess we'll find out later if that was important. So fancy. I'm glad. It's what I'm here for, to give random insightful advice and then be a gremlin. Those are my only two modes, being a gremlin and having random insightful advice. At least that's what my sister said on the bachelorette trip. Her bachelorette trip we went on. Just sometimes I come up with like really profound advice, and then 2 minutes later I'm just giggling madly. For no, well, I think it's a good reason. Other people may not know the reason, but I think it's good. Also, I don't know why I'm adding the wood grain over here. Most of this is going to be covered up by the cash register, I believe. Maybe I should have modeled out the cash register now that I'm thinking about it. Because now I have to draw that in perspective. I guess it's mostly a square triangle thing, so it shouldn't be too bad. But if I just do it the first time in 3D, then I don't have to figure out the perspective, which was the point in the first place. I've been looking into anesthesia, which is, you could say it's an art, balancing drugs and whatnot. I mean, yes, there's an art to it, making sure people get the correct dosage and whatnot. Trying to think of what else I did today. I think I'll just do that wood grain right there. I think if I do anything else, it'll just be covered up later by my efforts, and there's no point in doing work that gets covered up. Sure, yes, I know it exists, but no one else does. I guess the real question will be if I decide to make a more formal line art after this, or if I just start rendering on top of the sketch, because either is a possibility. Reason, medical stuff, others, drugs. It is so silly to just say, I'm taking drugs. I'm giving people drugs. I'm a drug dealer. And then it'd be completely legitimate. That's what you want to say, don't you? You want to say you're a professional drug dealer. No, I think technically that's a pharmacist. Or a psychologist. Pretty sure that's the one that can prescribe you drugs based on your mental condition. Or should I render this wood green? Because I don't want to make it over detailed, because if I make it over detailed, it's going to draw attention away from everything else. But I think a little bit's good, especially if it's closer to the viewer. I think what I'll do is maybe I'll just thicken up the line art, or thicken up some of the sketch lines, and leave other bits of it lighter so that it gets not completely enveloped, but absorbed a bit by the painting process. I think that'll be good. You're just giving drugs to unconscious people. To make them unconscious. I guess my friend's a professional drug dealer then. Of the legal variety. She works at a hospital administering drugs of both the pill form and the liquid form, because she makes IVs. She doesn't like making IVs though. It hurts her thumbs. Mostly probably because she has to make like 300 of them. Suggested different things, but apparently none of them are sterile and thus can't be used. But I think leather thimbles would be a great addition to her work uniform. Just like ease some of her thumb pain from having to push 300 syringes in like an hour or two. Working. So it turns out I figured out the problem. It was a mixture between it not looking right because I wasn't on the correct rendering. There's like a couple different rendering types. I was on Eevee because that's the easiest for your computer to handle just casually. But then if you want a more complete or detailed render, then you go through cycles, and that's a lot more. That makes your computer work, especially if you don't give it any limits. But I gave him some limits so it didn't take too long to render with. cycles, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do, which was good. Because if it didn't, I didn't know what I don't know what I would have done this stream. I guess maybe I would have done more doodle requests, I guess. I think I need to do a little bit of the wood grain line here, because the register won't cover the entirety of the counter. I think you were the one doing the poker game. Have fun doing that. Or wait, was it Golden Standard that was doing the poker game? One of you was doing the poker game. I was Golden Standard doing the poker game. Well, have fun doing whatever you're doing. Just told my family the fact I could be a professional drug dealer. They approved. Oh, good. Excellent. I love when family's supportive of life choices. It's always good when they support the odd decisions in your life. They know it's lucrative. Probably why they're so approving. Or they could just be really chill. It could be a mixture of both. I'm adding way too many circle knots into some of these wood grain lines. But that's okay. He's allowed to be a little circly. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe he has too many branches. Maybe this is pine wood. That's looking pretty good, I think. Might need to straighten out the back counter a bit. I think that got a little wobbly. That'll be fun. Making drugs. Now, when you say making drugs, does that mean like it's like baking and you're doing like a recipe? Or are you making them as in you're making new ones? Because there's an important distinction there. I think I made that less wobbly. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, if it has a little wonk to it, right? That just means like a perfect computer program didn't make it. It meant I made it. It's fine. I think it'll be covered by a character. Yeah, I'll be covered by a character anyway. That's fine. I think I don't necessarily need to add the back storage shelves that I was thinking of making, just because I think it's going to be covered by characters, so there's not really a point to drawing it. I think maybe the next thing, I have three options. I could either work on the sign, the soda dispenser, or the register. Could work on the register, but that means perspective, so I think I'm just gonna work on the sign. Sign sounds fun. Back shelf for Mr. Falcon. The universe is guiding you to this decision. feeling so influenced right now. It's like there's a person speaking in the back of my head going, Alyssa, you should do this. Interesting. Okay. Drinks, cakes, waffles. Cakes? Cupcakes? I'm sorry, I'm like looking at a sign on Pinterest to get an idea of how I should orient the menu. Okay. We're gonna design this here. Maybe I should save the sign for. Nah, it's fine. I'll do now. Time to try. Well, I say try, I can definitely do it. Time to do a little hand rendered typography. It'll be fun. I'm thinking the main things we need are soda, ice cream, shakes? I could do shakes. Soda, shakes, sundaes. Oh, is it talking cakes as in cake cone? Well, we'll worry about that later. I need a different brush. You need to be bigger. I might need to do this later, because now that I'm thinking about it, doing hand-rendered typography, ideally I would have a reference. Yeah, I might need a reference if I want to do something. This feels like a side quest. Probably because it is. Yeah, this is a side quest. Let's do that later. have, have fun at your poker game, Golden Standard. We'll do the hand rendered type later, because that was a side quest that I didn't necessarily need to do at the moment. It is very shiny, though. Guess I should just do the register. Register. Thinking since this is an older man, he would have a more, an older style register. Like ancient, because I don't think he necessarily needs an antique. Though that would be fun. But then I would have to draw all of the individual buttons. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Because it's not facing towards me. Does this man exist in the modern world? Does he exist in a slightly ancient time? I was gonna choose one and then I realized it was a toy. Yeah. So many decisions. Pinterest is a trap. Cash register. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. It's not very fancy, but it'll do. Okay. So this is essentially just a box on top of a wedge. Other way around. Wedge on top of a box. There we go. It's a bit too big. Okay. There, there. Box. Yeah, we can do this in perspective. I believe in us. We can do this. There's, visible, whatnot. Trying to remember if I already found myself a reference for the soda dispenser or if I need to do something. Hey, but you had better attention for actually staying on topic. The surprise I was working on, that took me way too long. I should have I think most cash registers, they have the total pointed towards the viewer. So that, they can actually tell how much they're paying for their ice cream. We'll do that. What else did I do today? Worked on the picture book that I was hired to do. That was fun. I'm getting very close to finishing the line art for that. So I'm very excited that I'll be able to move on to the coloring soon. Though that does mean I need to figure out the color scheme he wants me to. I feel like it should be pretty simple. I don't know. Doesn't seem too fussed about what I'm doing. Hopefully that will be a quick decision. Then I can get into the flow of just doing the base colors and then render. I'm skipping over all of these steps as if they happen very quickly. It will probably take me until around April to finish the book. I also sewed a pair of mittens today. That was fun. It didn't take me as long as I thought they were going to either, which is good, because I have other things to make. Such as the curse of making a lot of the Christmas presents you give out. Guess the next thing to do would be the soda dispenser. Please let me have already picked out one. That would be so great. Because that means I don't need to go searching for it. Do I have one? Nope, I do not. Fantastic. Now I have to search. I did not spell that correctly. I need to do tap because with soda dispenser it's coming up with. What do you mean you can't find anything for? Okay, soda tap? Just soda on tap? Oh, it's because it's looking at my pins. That would be the issue. I need all pins. Oh, these ones are funky. They kind of look like swans. Just the necks, though. Guess I could do that one. Just need it to appear, reappear image. I need it. There we go. Awesome. I feel like this is definitely something I should have modeled out in Blender. Because I can handle it. I can handle a rectangle or whatnot. This might be a slight bit more challenging. Okay, get the base first. I think we'll start with just establishing the perspective, and then we can draw the shape on the inside. I think that's how perspective works. Thank you. I'm pretty happy with the angles too. Just need to figure out the soda dispenser. And I think we can work on cleaning up some of the line work for the background and then move on to the characters. I'm trying to decide how much of this soda dispenser design is practical versus visual. I think a lot of it is visual. Understand the bend. It might not actually. I think maybe it's more. I don't know. I'm just drawing the darn thing. Should see if I could copy and paste this over a bit. I don't have to redraw it, because I get the feeling if one of the things they're toting around is soda, they want to have options, more options than two. I feel like that's sensible. Slightly bigger. Slightly smaller. Let's condense some of these layers because I don't need that many. Merge layers. Fantastic. Well, yes, slightly complicated, but that's okay. It'll make sense once I do the cleanup line art. It does look slightly confusing. Touch too many lines over here. I think I need to extend this out a bit to have the drain grate. Don't want soda on the counter. That would be a disaster. It's hard wood. It would be all sticky. Would not be pleasant. Alright, what else would be on the counter of an ice cream shop? Scoops. Candy jar. That would be a good idea. Candy jar. Just getting back over to my reference image to see what other people have done in the back. I don't have a lot of interior examples of an ice cream shop, actually. Okay. They have a waffle cone maker. Geez, that is small. Waffle cone maker sprinkle station, I think. Very hard to tell. It is so very tiny. Let's make that bigger. I think they have some syrup pumps for either caramel and hot fudge, maybe. Finished cones in a tub. A hand washing station. You know, I just realized with the design of this counter, I didn't really give the employees an escape. they're just kind of stuck here. In order to escape, they have to leap over the counter. Hubbard. They're there in the morning and they're there in the evening, and when you come back at any time, they're there. They never leave. This is their job. This is their life. Goodness. I did not think about that at all when designing this counter space. I should have. Do I like make a back room or something? How do I handle that? How do they escape? Just worry about that later. I think I'll just concern myself with the background stuff. It's fine. They don't need to leave. You want to leave? That's important. Darn people. Waffle cone. Oh, that's a grill. Okay. Commercial double ice cream cone maker. I don't think they need that. That could probably work. Alright. do I put things? Where should that waffle maker go? Maybe in the back over here. Near the ice cream. That way, if they need to, they can just make some quick waffle cones without getting in each other's way. Hopefully. I can add a stack of waffle cones over here. I should add a tip jar. Could add some stickers on it from the child, because we have a child labor. Is that even going to be visible with the characters? Not even very much. That's fine. Adding tiny details that aren't seen, it's fine. Okay, I should have a tub for, like, some chocolate sauce, perhaps? Maybe another one for caramel? Yeah. I'll just redraw the... bend it in a slightly different direction. That way it doesn't look so much like I copy and pasted it. Do you only stream on YouTube? Yes. I do technically have a platform on Twitch, but I never really got around to figuring out how to stream on there. And then I also figured most of my audience is on YouTube, so if I wanted people to look at my stuff, I should probably stream where most of my audience is. That way I had a better chance of having some viewer participation, because it's always nicer to talk to people than just talk to the void. Not that talking to the void is not fun, it's just the void doesn't talk back, so then you're just talking about things that are only in your head. You already know everything in your head. But maybe, I don't know, I guess you could have a philosophical debate with yourself. Add a sprinkle jar. I'm on YouTube like once a day, so it's definitely wild that I've seen you twice now. Well, I mean, I am very consistent when I stream, so if you're on YouTube around 8:30 on a Wednesday, you'll probably see my stuff pop up if you've watched at least one of my things. So I don't think it's too odd. Alright. Who texted me? Ah. My aunt. She completed the word puzzle for the day, showing off her success. Definitely need more things. Yeah, I think that jar of candy, or maybe a little box of sprinkles. It'd be kind of like Dairy Queen, where they just, I don't know, roll the ice cream around in the sprinkles to just get the entire thing covered. Mayhaps. I don't think that is in proper perspective. Let's skew that slightly. It's not skewing it. I know it's thinner, but I can fix that. We have the technology. You guys have any conversation topic ideas? I'm afraid that I'm 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 not really thinking of anything, and apparently my default topic is talking about my pet spider. So unless you want to hear about my pet spider, you might want to come up with ideas of conversation. I could totally talk about the spider though. That I could just start narrating what a random lines I'm drawing. Look at a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there. I think this needs a scoop. All right, let's talk about the spider. So, fed Frank, right? Went over to PetSmart, got him some food. Day after we did that, Frank is such a bougie spider. He decided with all this new energy, he was gonna build not one, but two new houses. So now he has three houses in the terrarium, and yeah, three houses in the terrarium. And how many houses does a spider need? They're all like relatively located in the same location too. So I don't get what makes the houses different. I don't know if maybe he was just like feeling a creative energy, or if, I don't know. He just decided, hey, today I'm going to be building, like, he built two houses in one day. What a guy. He's got a mansion. I know, he's so bougie. Most of the time he spends is in the penthouse suite, but then I think currently he's hanging out in the. I think he's currently hanging out in one of the newer ones he built on the end of the orchid stem. Did I tell you guys about the. I don't know if I did. Essentially, his terrarium layout is there's dirt at the bottom, and he's got a pine cone, a couple rocks, a little bit of moss, and then two sticks. One of them being a stem that I snipped off of my orchid plant because it was an older stem, and the last time it was producing flowers, it only produced one little one. So I figured Frank would get a better use out of it, and I would just snip it off to encourage the orchid to grow a new stem that would be more flowerful. And then he has a little pine stem. He built one of his houses on the end of the orchid stem. The orchid stem is leaning up against the wall. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Then he decided to add the cricket that he ate as a part of the house. Like, I don't know if it's coincidental or if it's like akin to putting taxidermy deer up on the wall, but now he just has it. Quite a decorator. What kind of things would they keep on their shelf? I think maybe they would keep their cup sizes up on the back wall for demonstration purposes. There are two cone types: waffle, cake cone. Really need to come up with that branding soon so I can do some of the inside, like, add the logo onto the cups. Do we need anything else? I feel like there should be other things on the counter too. Oh yeah, the tip jar. I need to add the tip jar. Add a little couple stickers on there. Make it pretty. Add some dollars and coins in there. They're making money. They're professionals. They're good at their jobs. Oh, I could have some of their glasses on display. Glasses. Would they serve the soda in? That was just soda. Yeah, I think that's suitably fancy enough. It's dual purpose. It can be both for soda and for milkshakes. Establish the perspective with a box. We can add the glasses in. Just that glass go. Okay. Narrow at the bottom. Make it 2 layered. I'm thinking we're just gonna do the sketch today, and then do the line art a different day, or maybe I'll do the line art off stream. Can do the coloring on stream. Ideas, options. I think there'd be like a rubber mat or something for the glasses to sit on, so they aren't just sitting on a wood counter. Because wet glasses are not nice for wood. They did not handle it well. Does there need to be anything else? Oh yeah, that kid's totally on the glass. This is why you have to design the environment first. If you don't design the environment first, suddenly your kid is knocking over priceless glasses. It's easy to fix. Oh yeah, this is gonna be suitably chaotic. I think maybe I should just focus on the characters now. Because I think I have a decent amount of the background. Made, so I think I can just worry about the character designs now. I already have the character designs. I just need to worry about sketching them in design. There we go. Let's start with the kid. I think the kid will decide most of the expressions of everyone else. So if I nail down her expression, then everything else should. Maybe I should. Yeah, I think I should do the kid's expression first. Though I am tempted to do Lena's first just because I already have. I've drawn her a lot, so she's a bit easier. Yeah, I think. Where? Huh? Oh, okay. That was confusing me for a second. Apparently, when you have different Photoshop open, different Photoshop document open in a different window, but you click on it, the layers panel will reflect that rather than the window that you have opened on your tablet. Interesting. I gave her the roundest little nose. Okay. I think I should make her little tongue stick out a little bit more serious. She's a very serious businesswoman, don't you know? My dad had a silly idea where I could do like a Frank cam if I ever need to leave my computer and do something real quick, like grab water, go to the bathroom. I just let the viewers watch Frank. But Frank isn't really that I mean, he's exciting to watch on the occasion, but most of the time Frank is just kind of hanging out in his nest. Because as a jumping spider, I feel like this is most spiders actually. It takes energy to move, so unless they need to get more energy, they're more likely not to be moving than doing so. I need to edit that face a bit. It's not doing what I want. It's just something not quite there. Liquefy, my beloved, where are you? There you are. I don't think you'll be able to see this just because it doesn't happen in real time. So I think you'll just see when I'm finished what I did in Liquefy. Essentially, I'm just playing around with her face shape to get it the way I want it to be. Is that what I want? I don't know. I feel like I need to push her face down again. And maybe move the cheek in slightly. That's better. Alright. Then our curly dory. Maybe I should do her positioning first. Big sleeves, just really giant sleeves. He did not have a uniform that fit her. She does not care. She's a bit too high up. I think I need to move her down slightly. Arms were getting too long. Razor needs to be bigger. Okay. Glass. We'll let this girl operate the soda machine. I guess if we're thinking about jobs that she's doing, she couldn't very well manage the register. I don't think she'd be trusted to handle that yet. But no, also, I don't think she'd be able to scoop the ice cream. Scooping ice cream is difficult. Thank you. Scooping ice cream can be so difficult. So I think logically her job is doing the soda, but my goodness, no one should have left this girl in charge of doing the soda. I feel like she would also be helping out with cleaning, because I think it would be really silly to watch her try and operate a mop. Like, she's very insistent about doing it herself, and she doesn't want anyone's help. But the mop is big and heavy and unwieldy. But she does not care. She is determined. She wants to do her part. Is it child labor when the child insists on being there? She thinks it's the coolest thing ever. I mean, yeah, it's still child labor, but she wants to be here. I need to move her arm down a bit lower. I think it's a bit too close to the spout. Soda is spraying all over the place. And I need to do her hair. How did I do that again? I think it was like flattish on the top, and I had like a little swirl in it. she's so cute. I think I need to make her a touch bit smaller. I don't think I drew what kind of shoes she would be wearing. Maybe it'd be like those Skechers flash tops. Sparkly shoes. Apron. Way too large apron. How does that look? Looks like good. Yeah, I think that's good. Do a goth girl's face. Roundish. Yeah. Like down triangle shape. Mm. Mm. I don't know if that's exactly the right expression there. Yeah, that's definitely not the right expression. Alright, what do we do instead? Maybe maybe I still have her facing towards the customer, but have her eyes facing towards the kid. I could do it. Oh yeah, that's better. There we go. That's how, that's how she can be giving out the money. Looking slightly stressed. I can't tell if she likes the kid or if she's like, she's definitely like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to clean all of that up. Hasn't packed the change. Dollar's nice and crisp. She's having a great time. Just the loveliest time at job. You know, we'll do. I think we'll finish up Lena's expression. I think I'll call it a night from there. Ian's getting tired. Yeah, let's do Lena's expression. And we'll continue working on this next week. Let me pull up a need to let me go over to my website because I need a example image of Lena real quick. Just to make sure I'm drawing her on model. I don't want to accidentally draw her off model. Wow, that page disappeared. Okay. There we go. Frame image. I think I need to make her sit shorter in the chair. Once I get her expression down, I'll scooch her down so she's shorter. Goo. How's her facial? I don't think it's exaggerated enough. Let's push that a bit in. The liquify tool. think it's partially the body expression. I don't feel like the face is extreme enough. How would you sit like that? Yeah, it's like you push back. I think we would be seeing a touch bit of Lena's scrunched around her shoulder. Her sweater would be there, and then I think we would also see the underside of her chin a bit. Good, also I just need to change everything about her. Still think I need to scooch her down a bit. I think she's still a bit too tall. Thank you. My goal with most drawings is to make them as dynamic as I can. That makes things interesting to look at. Lena's hair. Can also use that as a extension of her surprise. Just make it slightly. She pushed back quickly so it's still following the motion. There we go. Appropriately reacting. This isn't an overreaction at all. I am drawing on a screen tablet. So this is my Huon Pro 13. I've had this thing for, I think 7 years now. It's getting, yeah, I think appropriately horrified. Yes, excellent. Yeah, I've had this tablet for like 7 years now. At some point I want to get a new one, but I think that will be a later Alyssa problem. Yeah, I think this is a good place to leave off for the night. I'm working on this. I hope you guys had a fun time watching. Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night doing whatever you're doing, whether that's sleeping or just doing something else, but I hope it's good. Thank you. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day too. All right.